Yes. so why Python and who can learn Python? What are the prerequisites? How it was built? Python real-time applications, Python usage, Python features, comparison with other programming, right? Reasons which makes Python super popular, Python scope and job market. So in the yesterday demo session, we are just discussing these things, right? So we will have a quick review of what we have discussed, right? So why Python means I define Python in 5 lines. General purpose programming. It's a general purpose programming means any kind of applications can be developed. Means it's not like purpose based. It's not a purpose based language. It is for any kind of applications developed, like animations, gaming applications, automation applications, web applications, embedded applications, desktop applications, right? Multi-programming features. We see multi-programming features we see in Python, right? That's why we call Python as a hybrid language. Procedural oriented features, object oriented features, scripting features, modular programming features, that what we see in Python, right? So we are going to discuss all those in brief in our course, right? Python with procedural oriented with Python, object oriented with Python, and modular programming and scripting, right? Yes. It's a high level language. High level language means like it's human understandable. Low level languages are not human understandable. High level or human understandable. They are portable and machine independent, can run on all the hardware and all the operating system, right? Interpretation, line by line execution, you are going to see, right? So line by line execution. And user friendly programming or programmer friendly programming, which provides simple syntaxes which looks like normal English statements, right? So I said like there are two types of languages, low level and high level. Low level example like assembly level language. Yes. In brief discussion, right, on this matplotlib, numpy, pandas, all this as part of this course, right? In brief, in depth, right? Venkatramana. Fine. Low level language, assembly level language, high level languages like Python. High level language like Python are human understandable, portable, and machine independent, can run on all the hardware and all the operating system. And Python has taken some advantages from one programming, some other advantages from other programming. In this way, from multiple programming languages, it has taken the advantages, right? Right. From which programming languages? Like procedural oriented, like C language, you can develop applications. Like object oriented programming, like C++, Java, you can develop applications, right? Like scripting, we can write many scripts using Python. And like modular programming, because of which Python has got great boom today, because of thousands of modules, inbuilt modules of Python, 89,300 modules for various domains, right? Whatever domain you are from, Python has got module for it. I'll come back to that modules, but if you see, Java was mostly used if you go back like 10 to 15 years ago, right? But Python, if you see in the year 2010, only 3% used in the industry. But now from 2020-21, right, 31% Python has increased. The usage of Python has increased, and Java 19% used currently. Means 89,300 modules Python is providing for various domains. For data science, separate modules Python provides like NumPy, CP, Pandas, Matplotlib, right? Scikit-learn. In this way, for big data also, Python has got separate modules. For networking, separate, not only modules, like separate framework itself, it's providing like twisted Python. And for testing, for operating system, the name of the module itself is OS. For every database, Python is providing a module to connect with the database, right? Python to connect with any database, it requires a module. For Oracle, CX Oracle. For MySQL, PyMySQL. For SQL Server, PyODBC. In this way, we have got separate modules available, right? So we'll be discussing PDBC, Python database connection, in brief with multiple examples, right? Just without opening database, but by writing Python statements and execute them, you can just check. Table gets created in the database, data gets inserted, means everything you can perform by writing and executing Python statements. If you want to drop a table, I'll write some 2-3 lines of Python statements, execute it, go and check your table gets dropped. I want to create a table just by writing Python statements, execute, go and check in your database, table gets created with whatever name you have specified. Similarly for Excel file also, I want to create an Excel workbook with whatever name you have specified, with whatever location you have provided, right? Go and check, the Excel workbook will be created. And for CSV files, JSON files, PDF files, any files, right? Yes. And for statistics, for mathematical operations, and for generating graphs, any types of graphs you can generate using Python, right? Right. So that too with very less coding and with simple syntaxes like normal graph, bar graph, histogram, scatter plot, stack plot, pie graph, any kind of graph you can generate. Today I'll be showing you some examples, right? Generating of graphs without any knowledge of Python, right? You can understand generating of graphs, how each and every line 100% you can understand, right? That's why I'm saying it's like normal English statements. What kind of applications are getting developed today by using Python? Python real-time applications. What kind of applications are developed means mostly like web applications we are creating today by using Python. So for that we are using a framework like Django framework. Django is a framework. So it has got many flexible features provided by Django. Not only Django, right? We have got many frameworks for Python. Flask framework, pyramid framework, bottle framework, turbo gear. But among all these, Django is the most famous framework for developing applications. So that I'll be discussing as part of the Django web applications creations, nearly with 15 to 20 applications we'll be creating step by step, right? So with very less coding, we don't need to write huge codings like other programmings, right? So automation applications, Python mostly used in automations today, right? You go to total data science, machine learning, implementation going in Python. We require a language to code, or right? To implement, we require a language. So Python is the mostly chosen, mostly used for this implementing ML algorithms or techniques, where Python provides many modules for it. Even for in IoT and in AWS or DevOps, Python scripts we are going to write, right? In big data also, right? Like Spark, very high speed processing, petabytes of data processing, right? In quick time. So we have got technologies like Spark, very high speed processing. That also for implementing, we require a language. So for big data like Spark, Python language is used. We call it like PySpark. And even for scientific applications, CP, scientific, what is the name? CP indicates what? Scientific Python. NumPy indicates what? NumPy. Numerical Python. For numerical analysis and for scientific applications, right? We have got modules Python providing, right? Yes. For graphical user interface, for graphic applications and for animations, right? We have got like PyQt, tkinter, or some modules. For gaming or game development, Python has got frameworks, especially for developing games in Python. It is providing frameworks like Pygame, PyCora, and for 3D games like PySoy, right? And for scheduling tasks, right? Python providing Airflow, and for testing or test cases. And for software development, right? For software development, business applications, and for database. So business applications, Python is one of the best choice for developing e-commerce sites, right? And for software development, Python is used as a support language by most of the software developers. And for database application, Python can, because every web applications requires a database, Python can connect with any database, right? For network applications or programming, Python providing Twisted Python, a framework given by Python for especially for network programming, network applications. For web scraping data from different sites, extracting data from different websites like Flipkart, Amazon, right? Audio and video applications. We can also create audio video applications using Python. Already created some applications like Tim Player, C Player are some examples of it. For CAD and 3D CAD applications, right? We use Python. And for embedded application, we have got the most famous embedded application, Raspberry Pi, which uses Python for its computation. For computer vision, for color detection, for object detection, right? For face detection, we use Python for it. And for data analysis, data classifications, data clusterings, right? Python techniques, Python is used for the implementing, right? And for desktop applications, single user applications, console applications, right? We use Python. So once again, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear?
Yes.
Fine, thank you. So, and who are using Python today, and topmost applications built by using Python? So Google using Python. Google is one of the best example for Python web application. So Yahoo, YouTube uses Python for its web search systems. And for video sharing service, right? Uber pricing algorithm implemented using Python. Instagram built by using Python. So the reason for choosing Python, right? Like Python practicality and its multi-programming features. Reddit, Quora, Pinterest are implemented or developed by using Python. Netflix also using Python for its security automation and for subscription purpose, right? BitTorrent for file sharing. Dropbox built using Python. Maya, a powerful 3D animation which uses Python scripts. MMOG, massively multiplayer online games, right? And iRobot for military and commercial applications for hardware testing. Companies like IBM, Qualcomm, Seagate, all this they use Python for hardware testing purpose. These are some examples like who are using Python, right? And reasons Python was developed in the year 1989, 30 years, more than 30 years ago. But why all of a sudden Python has got a great boom? So very less coding we see in Python. Simple syntax is given for Python. Multi-programming features. Interactive mode. Wide varieties of applications can. So interactive mode means we can easily interact with Python statement by statement. For every statement, it gives response as well. We cannot see this feature in any other programming. For every statement, it gives the output or response. Multi-programming or hybrid features. Wide varieties of applications, what I discussed. And many built-in modules or libraries, right? Functions, we have got many built-in functions, built-in modules, built-in classes available. No need to write huge codings in Python, which makes Python super popular today. It has got modules for every domain, right? Whatever domain you are from, right? So, and I said people who are from non-programming or with zero programming knowledge, right? If you want to check how this Python coding looks today, I'll just show you some examples of Python code. Python snippets I'll be showing you all. You can just observe how the statements of Python looks, the syntaxes of Python in comparison with other programming, right? And the importance of modules in Python, modular programming, right? So, okay. Yes. Python comparison, right? Python comparison with other programming. I will take a task and I'll try to implement the task in multiple programming languages, right? Task. Accepting two values from the user keyboard. And performing addition. Accepting two values from the user keyboard and performing addition, right? Just take two values and perform addition. First, I'll write this code using Java. Later, I'll write using Python, right? I'll just show you this coding and execution in Java and in Python. You can just compare, right? Because Java and Python are two major programming languages for enterprise applications development, right? You can just check this. You got knowledge on Java, java.io.store. Class sample, right? Public static void main. String aux. Throws IO exception, right? Okay. I'm using input stream reader. System.in, right? Buffered reader. New buffered reader. Yes. System.out.s capital, right? S system.out.println, right? Enter the first number, right? So every statement ends with semicolon. Whatever you are entering, right, by default taken as string. So read line, right? We need to convert that into integer type. Int I equal to integer dot parseInt. Yes. So these three lines I'll copy for the second number also, convert taken as string and convert to integer type, right? Enter the second number, right? Enter the second number, right? String s2 br.read line, right? Integer dot parseInt of s2. And finally say system.out.println, system.out.println. Just say I plus j. Okay, so this is what the coding in Java, right? Just I'm copying this code, right, to a separate notepad file, right? Save it, Control S. Java. I'll just take a minute in just showing the execution in both Java and Python. We go to this command prompt. Yeah, where cd like Python 7 p.m. batch, right? Yes. Python 7 p.m. batch. So here you can say Java C file name sample.java. If you got any errors in this Java code, it will display the errors here. If no errors, you can run the code. No errors in the Java code, right? Java sample, it will ask enter the first number 10, enter the second number 20, output is 30. So I don't know like how many of you have understood this Java code, right? It looks little complex to understand these statements, right? What is class, what is public static void main? People who are from zero programming or non-programming, right, cannot understand what is this class, what is public static void main, what is IO exception, what is input stream reader, or even you can use scanner classes also for this. What is this read line, parseInt, string, integer dot parseInt, right? So every statement you see some complex word if you're from non-programming or for zero programming, right? The same task what we have seen in Java, right? The same task I'll just write in Python, right? So here you got 10 to 12 lines of code, right? The same task I'll implement in Python with not more than 3 lines. So this is the Python shell. Just I'll directly write the Python code here. No need of all the unnecessary statements. Directly we can go x as. Using input function, we'll enter input value for x, enter value of x, right? I'm saying that they look like normal English statements. Using input only, again enter value of y, right? So it's a print x plus y. That's it. This is the coding for the same task, right? That's it. So input value of x, input value for y, and print x plus y. Whatever value you are entering will be stored by x. Whatever value you entered for y, stored by y, print x plus y, right? Yes. Okay, save it, right? So to save it, save. Yes. So here some name test.py, any name with .py extension, right? But here also in Python, just like Java, whatever value you are taking here and assigning to x will be of string type by default. Convert to integer before you assign to x. Typecasting, int of, here also int of. I want integer addition, not string addition, right? So just typecasting, keep everything within the int. Now run it, run module. Enter value of x10, enter value of y20, sum is 30. Value of x10, value of y20, sum is 30, right? Yes.
So here, like to get the input, we need to use this input word, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So for inputting some value for x, we are using this input.
Okay.
And within this double quotes, whatever you keep, that will be printed in the output screen. Enter x means enter x only will be displayed. Enter value of x means value of.
So it
Whatever
means
you,
like if we put it under a double quote, it will be like to display a comment kind of, right?
yes, yes. So in this double quotes, whatever you keep, that will be prompted in the output screen.
Okay.
So this input is for inputting some value for x, y. Print x plus y. That's it. Run module. So whatever you are given within that quotes, double quotes, enter value of x, that will be prompted here. And just I'm prompting the user to enter value of x, value of y, whatever you have provided. X plus y, 30, right? So one more example, right? To just show you the codings for Python and that built-in functionalities and built-in modules of Python. For example, I'll take some values. In other programming like C or Java, we say array of elements, but here simple. You can take a square bracket and list of values, 50, 30, 10, 40, 20. I've taken some 5 values, right? List of values. Print the entire x, print that entire x means the entire values will be printed. I want to know, here you got only 5 values. Here you got only 5 values, but I want 100 values are there. So 52, okay, I got some 5 values. Think that you got 100 elements, right? 100 elements. I want to know the number of elements. How many elements are present? Here, the number of elements are less. Immediately you can count n. But to know the number of elements, len of x. What is it? Len of x. What is the length? 5. execute and check. What is the length? Number of elements. I want to know max element in the X. Max of X is, it returns 50. Similarly, min value, min of X. Min of X is what? Run module. Max of X 50, min of X is 10. Okay, I want to find the sum of all the elements. Sum of X. Sum of all the elements, 50 plus 30 plus 10 plus 40 plus 20. Sum of all these elements, right? Right. Here only 5 elements, but if you've got 100 elements, I want sum of all 100 elements. 150 is the sum, right?
How will know which are the functions are built in? Like in Java, we have Eclipse. In Eclipse, you can come to know what are the default functions are there. How will come to know in Python?
Yeah, 1 second. I'll come to your query. Print. I want to arrange all these elements. I want to arrange all these elements, right? In a particular order. Sorted. We have got a function called sorted of X, arranging all the elements in a particular order. Run module. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? Yes. Arranging all the elements in ascending order. If you want it in descending, right, we doesn't have any separate functionality, but use same sorted of X, but you will get in ascending, right? The ascending, if you reverse it, you will get in descending, right? Say reverse equal to true. Is there any disturbance in my voice?
No.
Fine. Is it fine?
Yes.
Fine. Okay. Sorted of X, reverse equal to true. Sorted of X means ascending. If you reverse it, you will get in descending. Observe, you got in descending, right? So we don't need to write huge codings here in Python. You got in descending, in ascending, sum, max, min, length. In other programmings, if you want to find the max value, you need to take comparing with one by one each and every element. You need to loop it. You need to compare it. For sum also, you need to take some initial value as 0. You need to iterate, add one by one value, finally printing the sum, right? But here just we don't need to. They look like normal English statements. Max of this X list, max, min of it, sum, sorted. Just now you asked a query, right? How can we see in this way many built-in functions given by Python? Not only built-in functions, built-in classes available, built-in modules available, built-in variables available, right? So if you want to see all the available, just now you asked how can I see all this built-in function, max, min, sum, like print. I want to see the directory of, there is a underscore built-ins underscore, right? Observe this, you can see within this. I want to see the directory of all the built-ins in Python, all the built-in functions and classes. You can see, right? Just observe this, run. You can see the list of all the functions and classes. See it from the bottom, you can see, right? You can, this is the list. Zip function, type function, tuple function, super, sum function, just now I said. Sorted function also just now we have used. Slice, set function, round function for rounding, reversed function, REPR, power, print function also we have used it. With range, min function just now we have used it. Max function we have used. Map, locals, list, license, len function we have used just now. Input function also we have used just now. Int function, ID function, X. So from here, all these are functions. From this absolute, from here, whatever I'm highlighted, all these are built-in functions of Python for performing various operations, and all the other things are classes. Later we'll discuss what are they. Apart from this, I said 89,300 inbuilt modules
Sorry
Python
to
has.
interrupt.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, how can we find out whether which is what is the class and what is the variable and what is the what do you call you just an a build.
Okay.
Due to problem is provided.
Okay. I'll just come back. Yes, I'll just come with your query, right? Just so to make you understand that, right? So 89,300 modules are there. Within them, each module you will have built-in classes, built-in functions, built-in variables will be there. So just now I said built-ins is also a module. In that you have got all these are available. Just I'll show you one more example. Two things you can observe. Whatever query you have asked, and coding of Python you can observe, and the importance of modules in Python, the popularity of modules in Python, which you won't see in other programmings, right? So I'll just show you with an example with a commonly used module like math module. I'm importing math into my program code. Import math means all the mathematical related operations I can use in my program. If you want to see, just now I want to see dir of math. Dir of math. I want to see the directory of math. What is present within run any module. Just have taken this module same way. So we have got many mathematical properties available within this math module, right? Sin h, square root, tan h, tau, right? We have got some variables like pi. We have got some variables like e, right? We have got some variables like tau. How will you identify whether it's a variable, function, or a class? I'll come back to that query in the same example. I want to print this pi value. I want to print this e value. Just anything, any property if you want to print in this math module. Within the math module, I want to print pi value. Yes, within that math module, I want to print the e value. Yes, just observe the pi value 3.14, right? Yes, 3.14. E value 2.71, right? But there is a function square root. There is a function square root. I don't know, for example, I don't know how to use that square root function. So I can take the help of Python. So there is a help function given by Python, just like print function, there is help function. Help on what? Within the math, there is a function called square root. Now see, it is going to help you with the syntax of square root, how to use it. So help on built-in function. Clearly it is saying help on built-in function. Just I said help on within the math, there is square root, what it is. So it is clearly saying help on built-in function square root in the module math. So what I need to provide to the square root function, provide some value x. It returns the square root of that, whatever value you have entered. So print math, within that there is function square root. I provide one value 16. I'm providing square root of 16. It returns 4.
So math is a module or a class here?
Math is a module.
Okay,
Import
module
math.
can directly contain classes as well as functions.
Yes, a module consists of classes, functions, variables. It's a variable, it's a function. Even classes also you can have.
Okay.
Okay, so here I am, for example, observe this output, right? Run module. And we have got the concept of package also in Python. Package is nothing but collection of modules. Okay. For example, one more example. There is a property. For example, POW is there. You don't know how to work with this POW. Say help on this. Help on POW, math within the math POW. Means directly you cannot say help of POW because POW present, you will be importing many modules, not only math in your program, right? This POW is property of which module? Math. We need to give that module name also before it. run module. So help on built-in function power in the module math. So it is expecting two values. It returns, if you provide two values, it returns x to the power. This is the power symbol, double star. It's clearly said in the brackets, x to the power of y, x to the power of y, right? Yes. X to the power of y. Okay. Now I'll provide two values. Print math dot POW power of 10 comma 3, 10 to the power of 3000, right? Yes. Save it. Run module. 10 to the power of 3 is what? 1000. Yes, in this way you can work with any functionality, right? Any property within this module. But just now you asked a query, how will you identify whether it's a function or a class or a variable, right? Yes, 1 second. Okay. Print math dot PO. No. Just say I want a help on which module. I want help on math module. That's it. Previously, I want help within the math power. Only this power function help I want. Only help on the square root, but I want help on the entire math module. I'm expecting help on entire math module, right? Check it. One by one functions, one by one variables, one by one classes, everything will give the syntaxes of each and every. See here, squeezed text lines, 291 lines. Double click it, it will get expanded. Help on built-in module math. Name of the is math and its description. Functions.
Can't we directly use these functions without importing that math modules?
No. Compulsory we need to use import math. Then only you can use it. Otherwise,
So-
undefined.
So if anywhere we are going to use this function like addition or something, then it is like mandatory to import that math module, right?
Yes, normal addition subtractions you can directly go right addition. But if any function of this math, if you're using, then you need to use import math. So all this one by one functions and their syntaxes, right? What we need to provide. So everything, total description about the entire module, the functions, and some variables also there, right? Data, we say variables as data, right? So all these are the functions, how much, and data means all these are variables. E is one variable, pi is one variable, tau. So if any functions, it will give the list of functions, classes, and if there are any files, the list of files also it will display, right? Fine. So you can get help on particular module, or you can get help on particular property. Yes.
And when you execute this, so it is executing each line here, right? Every time, not
Mm.
only just one line that suppose you executed help math. So when you run it, execute it, so again it is like executing all the commands that you have written here,
So you want to
right?
print only this math dot this one.
Yeah, suppose I want to execute it only this last line.
You want to execute only this help math.
I should see the result of like the last
This
one.
one, last one.
Yeah.
So this is comment in Python. You can comment the other things. Single line comment means hash. This it won't execute. And
Okay.
with multiple lines, I cannot keep on keeping this hash before it, right? So it takes time. So I can give within triple quote and with triple quote. I doesn't want to execute all this. Keep it, comment it. Multi-line comment. Start with triple quote, end with triple quote. And this is single line comment. And this is the only statement which executes now.
Yeah, and one more thing. Suppose we have an error in the second or third line. So just go back to that screen. Suppose just uncomment these, like, so, and we get an error in the after second after that pi math.py. Suppose there is an error.
So in Py, I'm not closing this bracket.
Okay.
For example,
okay. Yeah.
First thing, it will display syntax error. Syntactic it just run module saying syntax error. This bracket was not closed.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. This is fine. But for example, the Py spelling you have given PI I have given.
Okay.
Run module. So it executed the first line. First line is what? Help on this dir of math. Second line, it won't. Second line onwards, math.py, right?
Yeah.
Error you got. Means if you got error, if you got 10 lines, if you got error in the second line, it won't execute all the remaining 8 lines.
Okay, so the program will stop there and show the error.
Abnormal
Won't
termination.
go further.
Abnormal termination means
Okay.
Terminating your program in the middle without executing up to the last statement. Means if you got error in this, immediately your execution stops here itself. It won't execute the remaining statements. As like other programming, it will execute all the statements and display the errors. But here you cannot get the second error. If first error, then the execution stops. There is no possibility of getting the second error, right?
Yeah.
So I'll be showing you all these things in real time. We use IDEs, right? I'm showing now this is Python. Whenever we install Python, you will get this. But later, once we are done with some technical content, I'll show you in different IDEs. In real time, we use for different environments, we use different IDEs. I'm not in 1 or 2 IDEs. I'll be showing to on 5 or 6 IDEs. I'll be showing you how to run the code, right? IDEs
So,
like
yeah.
yes.
So under module we have functions, classes, and variables, right?
Variables, yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
So Python has got 89,000 modules. Again, within each module, you got many functions, built-in functions available, built-in classes available, built-in variables available in each. So if you want like domain-specific modules to explore, you can just get help on each and every functionality or each and every module, right? So how to use those modules also, right? We'll be learning as part of this, how to import, different ways of importing, renaming, reloading, right? And how to create our own modules. We can create our own modules also, right? User defined modules. Yes. And we can
Python
embed
installation will be different for different modules, huh? Like data science one module, web one module, and general like the difference will be there, huh? Installation also.
So, okay, 1 second. So whenever you install Python, right? Whenever we install Python, the Python software size is 24 MB. 24 MB. Within this 24 MB, all these 89,300 modules you won't get. Commonly used modules you will be getting. Some hundreds of modules you will be getting, not thousands also. Hundreds of modules you will get, which are commonly used, like OS module, math module, all this. But the other modules, so for math module, I didn't download and I didn't install it. Directly import, I said. but there are some other modules which are not part of Python software, which are not coming along with Python. I need to download and I need to install it. Installation of Python takes 2 minutes to install a Python, right? Python software. But installing any other module also takes 1 minute to install. So how we can do it, we'll be seeing it. But for example, DS module, data science related modules are there. NumPy module, Pandas module, Matplotlib module, CP, Scikit-learn, many modules are there. Each and every module we need to install separately. Very simple. This is the command pip install NumPy module. There is a module called NumPy. This command is enough to download and to install. Automatically it will download and installs. It hardly takes. And if I want any other module, Pandas module, pip install Pandas. That's it. Pip install
We'll know the module name.
Matplotlib module, right? So fine. So in this way, any module means generally any module, if you Google and check, right, any domain specific modules, you'll be getting the module names for a particular purpose, right? Which modules of Python are used. Fine.
Okay.
So the domain, we need to install it. Later, I'll just show you the easier way of installing these things, right? It hardly takes 1 minute, 2 minutes. Any Python module or even Python installation also takes 2 minutes. And later I'll show you in IDE, Integrated Development Environment. So various IDEs. Please be in mute. So various IDEs, what I'm going to show you, right? Various IDEs supported by Python. So in real time, we use these IDs, right? Yes. Anaconda distribution, various IDs like PyCharm. I'm going to show you on PyCharm. Spider. Eclipse also used for Python. NetBeans also used. But Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook, right? VS Code. Atom. PyDev. Komodo. So these are different IDs we use, right, for different environments. What, for example, for data science, right? Mostly used like Jupyter Notebook, Spider. These are more, even for big data, Spider and Jupyter mostly preferred. For web applications, so among all this, mostly used one is PyCharm, mostly used ID, mostly used one. PyCharm is mostly used, and for web applications, PyCharm, VS Code, Atom, these are mostly preferred. See, from different environment to environment, different IDs will be preferred. I'll be showing you how to download, how to install, and how to run the code on this. Yeah, please, 1 minute. Yeah, what is IDE? Integrated Development Environment. Integrated Development Environment. So what is this? Why we need to use means, see, I want to develop a application, web application. For developing a web application, where I need to save my .py file, where I need to save the image file, any video file or HTML file or CS file, any structure is provided. And for executing this to already, okay, where I can execute, where I need to save, where I need to keep these files. So we use some IDEs. Later I'll demonstrate about this and how to run and execute the Python code and ID. So I mean, in real times, depending upon your environment, right? So this IDs we are going to use. Means now I'm executing in Python shell, but in real time we won't execute in Python shell, I'm saying. we use any of these IDEs. So I'll be showing you how to download, how to install, right? Step by step, and how to run the code on this. Your Python code is not going to change. Only this IDEs, right? How to run this and execute on this. I'll be showing you, right?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes.
We can use Sublime also.
Yeah, those for data science, it will be used, right? So, but for data science, mostly like Jupyter, Spiders are enough, right? But many other IDs for data science are used for Python environment.
Okay.
Many are there, but I said mostly these are mostly used ones. They are very rarely used. This also will we use very rarely. This PyCharm mostly used, Jupyter mostly used, Spider mostly used among all this. VS Code remaining are very rarely we use. Right? Sublime text is available, right? Okay. In this way, I'll show you how to run this Python code in editors first. Later, I'll show you an IDE step by step. Later, you can just, so every 10 days, I'll choose one IDE, right? And I'll show you the executions of this. So understood, right? The importance of models, Python comparison with other programmings, right? Just I'll show you one more example, right? Generating graph in Python is very simple. I want to generate a graph using Python, right? So just observe. So without any knowledge of Python, just observe this code for generating a graph. We use a model, we use matplotlib for plotting and visualization. Matplotlib we use for plottings and visualization. Within this, we have got a built-in property, pyplot. Yes. So Anaconda distributions. Anaconda distribution, as I'll be showing you, right, how to work on this Anaconda. Anaconda distribution, where we'll see many of these IDs you'll be getting. See, in Anaconda distribution, you will see these IDs. Jupyter will be available in it. Spider will be available in it. VS Code will be available. PyCharm will be available. In Anaconda distributions, all these IDs, multiple IDs will be available. Right? Okay, import matplotlib.pyplot. Every time if I want to use like math.square root, math.power, right? Yes. I cannot use this very big name every time. So I can use alias name or shortcut name. As P, I can say as PLT, any name you can do. Instead of using this big name, I can use a shortcut name or alias name. For plotting a PLT, I'm using, right? To plot a graph, plot X coordinate values 1, 2, 3, I'm taking. Y coordinate values 5, 7, 4, I'm taking. Some X coordinates and Y. That's it. PLT dot show. Just observe this. Graph is going to get generated. Just observe this graph. I've given X coordinate values, Y coordinate values in the second line and show the PLT dot show. See, 1, when X coordinate is 1, Y coordinate is 5. For 2, 7. For 3, it's 4. Right? So you got a solid graph. You got a solid graph, right? So for example, a small task, age and income. My age values are 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, and 60 years, right? Income values are like this. For 30, 30,000. For 40, 40,000. For 50, assume it is 35,000. For 60, it is 50,000, right? So just plot a graph. These are the ages, these are the salaries. Now I want a graph for this. A graph getting generated, right? In this way. For 30, 30,000. For 40, 40,000. For 50, 35. For 60, 50,000, right? You got a solid graph in blue color. If you want some dotted graph, right? Can just keep comma here, just give within double quotes hyphen. You will get in this run module. No need to write huge codings. You can see this hyphen, right? Yes. And I doesn't want this also. I want some plot. Just to give over here. Some plot you will get run module. Plots you got, right? Yes. Okay. So by default, you are getting the color in blue color, a solid graph you are getting, but I want the color in red color. COLOR equal to red. I'm saying you will get in red color graph. Check it. You got the graph in red color, right? Okay, fine. So in this way, generating graph also just 2 lines or 3 lines generating a graph. I'll show you one complex graph, right? For example, you got 5 days of holidays, right? You want to visualize how did you spend your time on different activities. I want a stack. So instead of plot, if I give bar here, bar graph will be generated, bar function. Instead of that, if I give HIST histogram, instead of this plot, if I give PIE pie graph, if I use scatter plots. In this way, we got built-in functions. We don't need to write codes, right? One more complex graph, and you can easily understand, right? So days, 5 days you got. What are the activities? Playing, working, eating, sleeping, right? Day 1, 7 hours for sleeping, 2 hours for eating, 7 hours for working, 8 hours. 8 plus 7, 15 plus 2, 17 plus 7, 24. Day 2, this is day 2. This is day 3. This is day 4. This is day 5. So instead of plot, I said stack plot I want. Days as X coordinate, all these 4 as Y coordinates. And for these 4 activities, I want 4 colors. Some abbreviations later I'll discuss about that abbreviations. X-axis label, this is a built-in property. X label days, Y-axis label hours. Title for the graph, these all are built-in properties. Some graph name, some title you can do. Just check this. Do you see any complex word in this? Days have given, activities have given. I want a stack plot based on these colors. Label days as X coordinate, hours as Y coordinate, title for it. So later we discuss about all this in brief, but just I'm showing you how the statements look and the importance of models. See the stack plot in this way. Day 1. First 7 hours for sleeping, 2 hours for eating, 7 hours for working, 8 hours. Day 2, sleeping increased, eating increased, working increased, right? Day 3. So in this way you can generate any type of graph, right? Just I was showing you some examples. From tomorrow I'll be going with the actual coding, right? Actual Python technicals, right? Python introduction, like Python versions, Python installation, Python execution modes. Right, tomorrow I'll be just briefing you. I'll be showing you that installation of Python versions, Python software foundation, and Python execution modes, different modes of execution, right? Yes. So just I was showing you the comparison of Python today with other programming, some sample examples. Yes. So this is what I'm going to discuss as part of this, right? So you can see the syllabus of this. Where you can see that we discuss very huge syllabus, right? Python basics, operations in Python, various operations, data types, constants, variables, comments, input, output, typecasting, IDEs, operators in Python, different, and IDEs, working with Python IDEs, different IDEs like Anaconda prompt, Anaconda navigator, what is Conda, Jupyter, Spider, Eclipse, flow control statements, looping statements, strings indexing, slicing, functions, collections in Python, list, tuple, sets, dictionaries, their operations, each and every collection in brief, list, list indexing, functions, methods, functions, right? Tuples, tuple operations, set operations, dictionaries, functions in Python, different categories, different arguments, modules in Python, how to import, renaming, reloading packages in Python, errors and exceptions, file handling, object-oriented programming in brief, regular expressions, database connectivity, right? How to work with database operations, Python date and time module, operating system module, different models related to different environments, OS module, date time, data science related, big data related, graphics related, regular expressions related, database related, right? Advanced concepts like iterator, generator, closures, decorators, like GUI programming, graphic programming, Excel workbook, data analytics, NumPy, Matplotlib, Pandas, introduction to this data science also, and Pandas model in brief, NumPy model in brief, and Matplotlib model in brief. This is for Python. People who go for full stack, Django, Python web framework, introduction, frameworks, installation, project architecture, views, templates, admin models, concepts, right? And UI technologies, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, and MySQL. This all will be discussed as part of this course, right? Yes. Any queries you have got anywhere, right?
So you'll cover all the 30, right? Python till Python multi-lib, right?
Yes, yes.
So basically in advanced, you'll cover all the web, right?
Yeah. So here, up to here, for Python packages, file handling, regular database connectivity, advanced concepts, UI, GUI programming, Excel workbook, data analytics, data science, Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib. 30. This 30 I will be discussing.
The remaining covered in the advanced, no? Yeah, 31. Okay, yeah. And however, suppose if you go for web, no? So web are equivalent to in Java we have AngularJS, Node.js. So it will be equivalent to that. Huh?
Web development, right? Yes.
Yeah.
So if you want to develop a web applications, interactive applications, right, with a web page in the Python and database interactions. So by using, you need to have the knowledge and Django, right? For that, you need to go for full stack for that.
Okay, so like whatever you're developing in AngularJS, Node.js, React.js, so same thing we can develop here in the Python web, right?
Python web applications, interactive applications creations, right? Right.
Okay. Spring Boot can be also covered here. Huh?
So
Like
those are framework of Java. Here Django is the framework for Python.
the same similarity do we have here?
So Python, you have got Java frameworks available, right? In this way, for Python also we have got framework like Django, Flask, Pyramid, right? But among all this, Django is the important framework.
So will you going to cover in the basic or it will be covered in advanced?
So Django, right? I'll be spending nearly 45 hours only for day. Python, it will be taking 70 hours. For Django, it will be taking 45 to 50 hours, which includes the web technology.
So that will be different course, right?
Yes, this one. So I was saying, right? 1 second. Observe this. Just observe this. Okay. So those who wants to go only for Python. So in this again, Python will be, you'll be learning 3 things, right? Python core advanced and application oriented modules. So it takes nearly 70 hours, right? Around 70 hours. The fee is 5K for it. 5,000. It's an offer batch. So second, apart from this, people who wants total full stack Python, full stack, right? So apart from you want to work with framework, Python framework, Django, right? Along with the Django, we are providing, right, HTML, the knowledge, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, database, and all this. Django for all this, it takes nearly 50 hours. So if you want to go parallelly also, we can go parallelly, but generally for all this it takes 4 months for entire thing. But only Python, it takes 2 months, 2 to 2.5 months. But if you want to go parallelly, because these things, even some weekend batches also there, once you get enrolled of any of my, you can attend any of my batch. If you once you get enrolled for the full stack, right? So fees for this is 5K. Actually, it was 7K. Can just it's 5K for this combinedly together, total 10K for the entire full stack. Only Python it is 5K. Okay, fine.
Flask will cover. Flask will cover in basic course.
Yes, yes. But Django only mostly prefer Flask. Previously it was used more, but when Django come, only Django only used more. But even I can give introduction on this. I'll be providing introduction to Flask, also how to work on it.
So this Python can be used for enterprise applications as well.
Yeah, Python and Java both used for enterprise applications.
Java we can use. Python can we use?
Yes, except the mobile applications.
Okay.
Python can be used for any other application. Yes.
We have some servers for Java like JVas, Tomcat. Like, do we have this some kind of servers for Python?
Yes, you can also Python. Django has got its own server, right? Django has got its own. It has got its own database also. SQLite 3 is the database name. It has got its own database and it has got its own application server. Even if you want to connect to Tomcat server, other servers also, you can also connect with that. It has got it. It has got.
Yeah. How we deploy the applications in Java? Can we deploy the same like in Python also?
Yeah, there is different process for both, right? It's different. That process is totally different. It takes time taking, right? Python, very less coding. The steps are also very less number of steps. So even connecting to any database also in Python, just within just 1 minute is enough, right? So that module is enough to connect with the database. Okay. We won't see that much complex operations. I said at rapid speed, you can develop web applications through Python.
Do we have collections in Python? Like in other languages, we have collections, right? Like hash map, hash table, those things. Do we have here in collections in Python?
We use dictionaries only for all those.
Oh, dictionary will support. Okay.
Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
when it will start the
From
web
tomorrow-
development?
See, from tomorrow we are going to start with Python fundamentals, right? So
Yeah.
tomorrow also people can attend the session, right, at the same time.
Yeah.
You can follow the same link to see Python fundamentals, right? And
Yeah.
and those who wants to go for total full stack, right?
Yeah.
So Monday to Friday, this class is for Python, and Saturday,
Yeah.
Sundays we'll be having sessions on this UI technologies, HTML,
Okay.
CSS,
Okay.
Bootstrap, and those people who wants to go attend parallel, you can attend parallel. Otherwise, one after the other also you can attend after completion of Python if you have got time, right?
Parallel mean Saturday, Sunday and Saturday.
So I mean to say, once you get enrolled in full stack,
Yeah.
so any of my batch starting in the coming days, right, of any Django batch or any like HTML, CSS, UI technologies, anything I'm starting in the coming days, you can attend any of it of my batch.
Yes, sir. But still, we don't know exact time. In what time you will?
Yeah, you will be given you will be, once you get enrolled within 2 or within next 2 days, right, a WhatsApp group will be created for your batch. In that batch, the postings will be done, if anything, right?
Usually weekend batch, what would be time?
Mornings only, 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours, Saturday.
Morning 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours, or again 2.5 hours will be same day. Huh?
Saturday 2.5 hours, Sunday 2.5 hours, 5 hours.
Morning before 9 only. Yeah?
So it will be at 8:39 the timing, right?
Okay.
Morning, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, fine.
Thank
Yes.
Yeah, I'm working for DevOps right now, and I need to do some ads.
So this course will be in detail or only basic will cover, because thing why I'm asking is I'm already working, so I want to use this knowledge in my work.
It is not 40 hours, 45 hours course. It is 70 to 80 hours course, Python only. Totally 120 hours course. It's not like basic. How can you say it's basic, right? You can see, you can compare, you can compare that, you can compare the course content, right? Any other trainings, right? We'll be discussing in brief, right? Of different modules related to different domains, right? We will be spending 70 hours for only Python and 50 hours for the web development and Django frameworks, right?
Sure.
Vijay, I'm working for the DevApps right now, and I need to learn how to do the scripting. So I need to learn total Python 70 days course, or I need to learn some of the topics only.
It will be better if you have got command and Python, right? Tomorrow again, you cannot keep on updating if any other new functionalities.
So I need to follow the total Python course, right?
But for you DevOps, Python core concepts mostly preferred. But if you have got time, you can also update with advanced concepts of Python, right? Fine.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, thank
mostly like for DevOps, like Python core concepts preferred, and even like models concept, right? So
Core concept means?
Python core basics, right? Like flow control statements, collections, functions,
Okay.
this operators, all this.
Okay.
And coming to modules also, how to explore modules and packages, these things.
Okay. Okay,
Well,
thank you.
later you can contact me. I'll say which you need to attend, which not. Right?
So actually,
doesn't
I am working as cyber security. I would like to learn about the Python scripting mostly. So same thing I have to follow, right? I need to learn entire course, then I have to.
So getting a command and the entire Python course, right? It's better, right? Instead of learning a part of it. So if you
Okay.
if you
Does
have
this course
if
cover?
so it's entire. I'm said it is going to cover all this, right? Python procedural oriented, object oriented, scripting, and modeler, right? Everything it's going to cover. Yeah, for big data people who go for big data and data science, right? Python, you can go with Python, right? Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm stopping now. Tomorrow we can continue same time, same link, right? To see more fundamentals of Python, right? Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Prakash,
Hello.